Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Matt Madness Wrestling Podcast.
Again.
My name is Ron Pashery. I'm here with my good friends, Alo, Aaron Lloyd, Ek2Fly, Eric Trembicki, after a 1-week absence. We apologize to anyone if anything that seems like we may not touch on as much as you would have liked. We actually recorded about 40 minutes of the show already, and the computer died, so we have to start from scratch. So hopefully we can catch lightning in a bottle once again.
Well, lightning struck twice.
I am here.
So, Eric, Roman Reigns suspension wellness policy. Your thoughts?
Came out of nowhere to me. I was surprised. My main take from it, I'm happy that it's out there. I'm happy that they're acknowledging it. I'm happy that we're still getting this triple threat main event in a few weeks at Battleground. They're doing the right thing. To my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're better with the stats. This is the first time a suspension with the wellness policy has been addressed
on TV, yeah.
Or on TV. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's great because it's not, there's been other times where someone in the main event, picture RVD, Randy Orton, they get popped and they don't talk about it. They disappear. Oh, they got this or that, whatever. They make an excuse. They're acknowledging it. And this is great. So, I'm so happy we're getting the match.
I am too. You have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm glad you started the show off with this because I have thoughts. It's okay. Roman got suspended. He's the guy. The guy. For
Not
Vince.
the dude.
As he's been saying.
Yeah, he's saying he is the guy. But my thing is, what does Vince think about this? Because that's Vince's guy. And now Vince has to go to his investors and things and say, and clean this up and cover it up. Saying why this guy got suspended. He's your guy. And why is he suspended? John Cena never gets suspended. He passes every drug test with flying colors. That's why he's always like Vince's top guy. But now it's like, what do you think they do with Reigns? I personally think he's going to drop down the card a little bit because of this. Because Vince kind of has to punish him because he kind of put Vince in a very bad situation. Even Stephanie on Raw said the whole company was embarrassed about it. And they're not covering it up on Raw because this is the first time they actually have to address it because he was actually in the main event scene.
Right. Well, he was the champion.
In a booked match.
Yeah, he was the champion leading up to it. He had a number one contenders match on Raw. And then he was booked in the main event for the next pay-per-view. I find it hard to believe that Roman would be moved down the card just because they've spent so much time investing in him. And I get that he put them in a bad spot, that he embarrassed them. But I just think it's Vince's boy, and I don't think it's going to happen. I am glad that, one, it was acknowledged. I'm glad that Seth was the one that got to come out in the very rare worked shoot interview these days and say, I think he should be taken out of the match. He doesn't deserve to be in there. I did what I said I was going to do, and I think it should be a one-on-one match.
Did anybody inspire that work shoot?
Was there somebody?
Eric, was it somebody?
Maybe only the best in the world.
You think?
Had a little bit of that Phil Brooks-esque
that Phil Brooks-esque vibe. Okay.
The UFC welterweight Phil Brooks.
September 9th.
Yeah, he said, I'm not supposed to talk about this, but I'm in the ring. I'm
got a live mic, live TV.
I'll say what I want to say.
Another thing that you were just mentioning there that I think is a little different about the whole take. I can't see him possibly dropping down the card. I don't think we're going to see him. I could see him getting out of the championship storyline. I can see him still having a marquee feud with someone. But, to punish him, he's got to somehow get punished. The one thing that I think people are skipping over, I mean, Seth did everything he said he was going to do. From, the redesign, rebuild, reclaim, got the title back. Everyone's skipping over the fact that this is the first time Roman's lost a match clean. First time he was pinned clean.
Well, there's been the stats on Instagram where everybody's win-loss records. I think he's only been pinned 8 times.
Really?
I think so. I saw that on Instagram somewhere. I don't know how accurate it is, but
sure
I can buy that.
Tag matches.
I can buy that. No, I mean him getting pinned by himself.
Well, that's not just one-on-one matches, is it? That's kind of includes
him
tag.
taking pins.
Okay.
As a total.
So 8 times. Wow, I wonder how many times Cena got pinned.
They didn't pop that one up yet.
Okay. So we have to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So Seth opens the show, like we said, work shoot on Roman. Dean says, hey, I don't care. I'll fight anybody. As far as I'm concerned, Roman's still in the match. He's being portrayed as a fighting champion. Seth, on the other hand, I said this last week, I like that he's not a coward anymore. He's still kind of a weasel. And I love that, obviously, Cena comes down. AJ Styles comes down. Did either one of you see either one of those two getting themselves involved in this main event picture?
I didn't see it coming a mile away. It gave it a whole new vibe, and it kept two storylines being very relevant.
How about you? Did you see this coming?
No, I didn't, but I would have liked the idea because involving two feuds, infusing AJ and Cena with Rollins and Ambrose would have been perfect to forget about Roman Reigns. So you could have those two feuds going on in one feud, and it's over the world title, and so Roman Reigns can somewhat be an afterthought in the situation. But it did further the AJ Cena thing, which I do like. Following it, like I said, I told you before the show, I didn't think I was watching Raw because there was character development and there was storyline development. So AJ and Cena, they both call each other's matches, and that furthers those stories. And the Rollins Ambrose match, also in Reigns match, gets followed as well.
Yeah, I thought that with what happened in the two matches, obviously AJ and Cena now have more heat between each other. I think Seth and Dean, Seth at one point is saying he has to cheer for Dean because he doesn't want to have to fight anybody else. He wants to fight Dean straight up because he still thinks Dean stole it from him.
And I'm starting to love when Seth, no, this is my match, no.
That was one of the points I was going to make earlier, and I forgot. I love that he's not a coward anymore, but he's still a weasel, and he's getting so frustrated at every turn. All these guys coming down interjecting. He's like, no, hey, how dare you? No, you're not going to do that. No, this is my thing. No. I do love that aspect of Seth Rollins, that he's like the kid on the basketball court that's ready to take his ball and go home. Like, he's just so frustrated by all of it. Obviously, Cena's match gets not really interfered with, but he gets distracted by AJ in the club, loses to Seth. I liked that Seth was not made to be an outright loser. It's not like he should have been pinned or he was definitely going to tap. It was in a position where maybe he could have gotten out of it. Then, same thing happens to AJ. He's in there with Dean. Cena comes down, blows up his spot, and the club and Rollins end up on top. I think Dean has been made to look very strong the last 3-4 weeks. He's coming out on top every time he's on TV. I like seeing Seth standing over him, foot on his face, holding the title up that he never lost. The other thing I like is that...
Now, he lost it now.
He has lost it. But what I like is he didn't lose it. He got injured. We all knew Roman was going to win the title from Seth. And then we all thought we knew that he was going to lose the title match with Roman at Money in the Bank. Instead, Seth wins, and now he can say forever, I didn't lose that title, you never beat me, I came back just like I said I would, and I took it back. And now Dean stole it from me. He snuck up from behind me, he took it from me, but that's still my belt. He will have that over Roman until whenever Roman gets the chance to do the same to him. But I like that Seth is in a position now, as weakly as he was booked, as champion for most of his run.
All of it.
Okay. He's been gold on the microphone. His matches have been very good. And character-wise, they've made him the strongest, really, he's ever been.
Yeah, and something he's great at, because he gets a pop everywhere, but he takes that heat back so fast, which is excellent.
Do you agree with that, Eric, that he's right now the strongest he's ever been in the company?
There's no doubt about it. Except for when he was with the Shield. This is definitely the strongest.
But he didn't talk.
No.
He was always the afterthought.
He was just the kind of the high flyer of the group. Mm-hmm. I liked where both of these stories went last night. I still want to... I didn't mention this the first time around. The way JBL just goes nuts for Cena, it drives me more and more crazy every time.
He beat me for his first championship mogul. WrestleMania 21 mogul. Staples Center mogul.
I can't... It's one... To me, it just makes Cena even more annoying that your heel announcer is saying, this is the best I've ever seen, 15-time champion mogul.
He says that every match.
It honestly just drives me crazy. It's so stupid. It makes no logical sense. Even you can
the days of heels and baby faces are over.
Well,
JBL just let them like both. We like both.
He doesn't like both, though.
He does.
I feel like he usually, he loves Kevin Owens, hates Sami Zayn, hates Dean Ambrose. He loves
likes
The Miz.
Cena. He likes both.
The Cena thing just drives me nuts. He doesn't like Roman Reigns. I don't know. It just bothers me.
Yeah, he's horrible. He's been horrible for years. When he first came on, he was great, but a couple things about Roman. What do you think they're going to do when he comes back? Because I think this is a perfect time to turn him heel, because the fans, they weren't behind him already. And, they're going to eat him up even more about this. And then the fans that did love him, the more casual fans, me personally, I don't care when people get suspended for this stuff. I really don't care. I'm not going to like you any less. But I think some of those fans, they're going to turn on him. And I think this is a perfect time to actually turn him heel and then have him build himself back up so the fans can appreciate him and not be seen as a chosen one. Because this is a perfect time, because he's been chosen one since day one. And now it's like you kind of have to punish this guy. And the fact that he's a 3-time champion, he can go back down to that lower mid-card and put up some of these upper mid-level guys like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, people like that.
My thought on what I think they're going to do with him, I think they're just going to pick him up right where he left off. What I think they should do is very similar to King of the Ring 96. Triple H was supposed to win. The infamous curtain call, as we all know. He was the one who took the heat for all of that. He didn't get to win King of the Ring. They gave it to Austin. And then it gave them the most booming time in the history of the company. If that doesn't happen, who knows if Stone Cold ever takes off the way he did. It may have just been perfect place, perfect time. You never know. They may have just been handed, a little bit of bad luck. We didn't want this to happen. But it could play right into their hands where now you say, okay, let's make Roman a heel. He can get over as a heel now, which we've seen him do in NXT before. And then he can grow from there. Because right now, people are just never going to accept him as the chosen one.
I think the right thing for him to do is, obviously, like I said, Seth gets the first clean pinfall over him in a one-on-one match. I think, get Seth out of this feud, take him out. Get Roman out of this feud, take him out, and then, you see it continue with Dean and Seth, because Dean and Seth 2 years ago had a great feud. When the Shield first split up, it went on for a series of matches. Overall, Seth got the best of it. I would like to see this go on for a couple months. Dean get the best of it, and then it's like, I remember back in 2014, Seth had the best of Dean. Well, here in 2016, when Seth comes back, Dean gets the best of him. Dean was, at his best and having a rise while Seth was gone, elevated the IC title, blah, blah, blah. And this gives us a dream opportunity here where once you take Roman out of it and you get this one-on-one feud where Seth and Dean, they're so similar in, their size, stature, they have such a great real live feud.
Dean was the one who took it more personally when the Shield broke up.
It's a modern day Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels is a modern day Rock and Austin. And it's something we can play off for years.
I got a couple more things to hit on as well. I know you guys didn't notice it said WWE champion instead of WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
I did.
Correct. So we're getting the new pay-per-view schedule came out. So Backlash is the first brand-specific pay-per-view, and that'll be for SmackDown. And then tickets will went on sale for Clash of Champions, which is going to replace Night of Champions. And then the superstars on the headline picture for that are Styles, Ambrose, and Reigns. So that's just some speculation, Dirt Sheets. Speculation that those three guys are going to be on Raw. Backlash, nothing was posted for that yet, ticket-wise. And I know me and you touched on this last week when Eric wasn't here. How do you guys feel how do you feel? Does Ambrose still feel like the champion to you? Because he doesn't to me.
Yeah, to me, he doesn't feel like the champion because he was so mishandled from WrestleMania on. Bless you.
Thank you. Ignore that.
He got squashed by Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which was a huge disappointment to everybody, after having such a great match with Triple H. Then the feud with Jericho, which I enjoyed because I liked both guys, but he was not portrayed in a serious light. He was not built in any way, shape, or form over the last 3 months as somebody who could be the champion. Did I like to see him get it? Yeah, because as a performer, I think he deserved it. I think he earned that spot. I always complained that they made Dean Roman's little brother. I didn't think he deserved that.
He was portrayed as a sidekick, and he was referred to as a sidekick by the Authority several times. I I do. Maybe it's because I'm biased, because I'm a fan. I do believe he does feel like a champion. Last night we got the whole underdog vibe by just the constant putting it down by Seth. By Stephanie. Stephanie did such a great job just knocking him. I hate that you're the champion. I hate you're the champion. Well,
yeah, you're a nightmare.
Her dad hated when Stone Cold Steve Austin was the champion. So it kind of gave you a little bit of a familiar vibe to that. I love seeing him with the champion, with the championship. He keeps mentioning, that's why now I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I still, anytime I see him, and especially right now, just looking at this and looking at this feud, to me, the one thing I always think about when I think about the Shield, when the Shield first was together, Seth and Roman were tag champs together, and then Dean won the U.S. title. Dean got the singles push. Dean was the first one by himself.
Call it a singles push.
Well, listen, he was United States champion, and he competed in the Money in the Bank match as champion, while the other guys were having tag matches.
He never defended the belt.
All right, he was a terribly booked U.S. champion, but I mean, when was the last time?
But that's not your point.
I'm just saying, U.S. champions are always booked poorly. Who's the champion right now?
Ruru.
Yeah, Ruru. But, he's not having a great run now, like his first, U.S. title run. But that's neither here nor there. When the Shield all had straps a long time ago, Dean was the one who everyone thought the focal point was going to be on. So, I mean, I still remember that. Whenever I see him out there, I remember him being the main guy originally.
Yeah, he was the front man.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm happy with what they're doing with him. He's, I'm proud to say he's the champion. I'd rather see him with the title than, anyone that's going to be part-time. I mean, you figure when Triple H, as much as he was a great champion 16 years ago, I mean, he wasn't there. Brock was the first one with the latest version of the belt. He wasn't there. Seth was poorly booked. I mean, he's a good WWE champion. Sheamus, didn't, he's just not really WWE championship material. So, I mean, I'm happy with Dean as and also coming out fighting champion. I mean, it's perfect.
Well, all comers.
Well, I don't have a problem with him being the champion. My thing is,
you just don't think he feels like he's the champion.
He doesn't feel like the champion because, quite frankly, people always say Roman sucks. He can't wrestle, which is not true completely. My thing with Ambrose is Roman's put on these excellent matches. He's probably had match of the night in majority of the pay-per-view to the past year and a half or the top shows. He's put on these world championship caliber matches.
Yeah, if not the best match, he's had one of the best matches.
Yeah, gimmick or not, whatever you want to call it, because no matter what, a main event can be a gimmick or a straight up match. Ambrose with Rollins was excellent, no doubt. But when Ambrose is put in something important on a championship level, he can deliver. But as far as Ambrose matches are concerned, he's probably only had 2 good matches really all year, and that was with the last man standing match for the title for the Intercontinental title with Owens at the Rumble, and his match with Triple H for the title at Roadblock. And his feud with Lesnar blew. His feud with Jericho was over a jacket and a plant. It was horrible.
And a fake talk show.
Yeah, and a fake talk show. And with the worst match of the year in my book, it's going down. It's not getting any worse than that. Eric praises that match. He praises that horrible match. But my thing is,
they praised it because I watched it with you.
Anyway, they praise the same, but Roman, he's been kind of a better wrestler than Ambrose is in the ring. I don't agree. I think Ambrose is better, but Roman's been portrayed better in the ring than Ambrose has. He's put on these better main event level matches, it's been 2 weeks. I'm giving him time, but he's still the same jokey Dean Ambrose. Like, he's in the Shield, you could tell he had an edge to him. He was a lunatic. Now he's just joking and forgetting the title in the cab and throwing soda in your face.
Hey, if you ask me, he's got more of the real one versus all vibe. Well, he's like, you know what? I'm not scared of a triple threat. You know what? I'm not scared of a fatal 4-way.
Not scared of a fatal 5-way either.
I'll fight all of you.
Yeah, I'll fight a fatal 5-way with Roman and Cena in it. Yeah, I do think that they're offsetting that a bit with him being willing to fight anybody, anytime. And it's through no fault of Dean Ambrose. It's nothing he did. It's just that his storylines, his matches have not been
exactly. I mean,
great.
And again, this is probably me being biased because I'm a fan of Dean. But at the same time, when was there last time that there was a WWE champion that was willy nilly like 4 people? I'll fight them.
Yeah, it does. I
mean, you figure John Cena, Mr. Never Quit, Never Give Up. You know, when he has to defend a title against someone in a fatal 4-way match, his eyes get all big. He's like, I know it's a big challenge up, but I'll do it. And he just goes in there like he's a military soldier boy.
Yeah.
But hey, Dean's over here.
Can't wait.
Dean's like, hey, I got a hangover. I didn't sleep last night, but let's go.
Best thing about Dean Ambrose's character.
Still, my number one thing about Dean was best thing Dean Ambrose did all year was when Triple H beat him up. He said, "Hey Hunter, thanks."
That was good.
And that was the best thing he said all year, in my opinion.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn promoting their next match and possibly their final match for a long time on the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. Very good episode of the highlight reel. Before we get to Sami and KO, Jericho continues to do his best work in maybe a decade. Phenomenal. Great heel. Great, arrogant jerk. Says that you guys are better just for being in the ring with me.
That was awesome. He just constantly putting himself over.
Yeah, he said. I think he even said, "You're welcome." You're welcome. I'm going to give you one more thing. I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. Sit back as I give you the gift of Jericho.
Drink it in, man.
I replayed that 3 times.
His walk out to the ring
was priceless. His
hysterical.
face, and what he did with the scarf was awesome.
Yeah, he flipped the scarf and did the limp-wristed hand at one point. He's just awesome. Maybe Sami Zayn's best microphone work of his main roster career.
Let's let him talk.
He got to talk, and he got to talk with a purpose. He was actually... Most of these guys just talk. He was talking about something that they were actually in the middle of. Putting over his feud with Kevin Owens. Saying why he's so mad at Kevin Owens. Saying why he needs to put this behind him. Because we're costing each other our careers by being so focused on each other. And Kevin Owens just sitting there like the bad kid who doesn't want to hear what he did wrong, just blowing it all off like it doesn't matter. And then I even love Jericho saying, "Well, Sammy, you have been a terrible friend." As if that's any of Jericho has any idea. But, Eric, do you think this is them having this match, them saying this has to put the feud to bed? Do you think this means they're going to get split up with the brand split?
I would think it would. As said earlier, there's a lot of things going on with other storylines that could drag on. I mean, Seth and Dean. Dean just cashed in on Seth, won the title. He's going to defend it against both Seth and Roman. He could pin Roman and Seth feel like that's not fair. I didn't get my justice due. Let me get another match. And that feud could continue. That could keep going. That could go past the brand extension. There's other feuds going on with whether it's the women's division, a tag division, that they could keep going. They need something to kind of culminate and end. And, I mean, you figure these guys had this feud for years and years, whether it's WWE, NXT, the Indies. It makes sense. Just let these guys fight it out and, separate them. They obviously aren't the youngest talent on the roster. However, what is something perfect to do with their WWE career not being so lengthy already. They fought in NXT. It's a year or so later. They're both on the main roster. Let them fight. Separate them a year from now. Late 2017, 2018. Bring them back together. Redo it. It's something you can always go and cash in on because it's always going to be good.
Yeah, you always have that to go back to. How about you? You think this is the end you think they get split up?
It's the end of the beginning.
The end of the beginning, once again.
But I think this is it because Sami Zayn hits. They hit on all the cylinders. They actually brought up everything that's happened. They say that he cost him the IC title at the WrestleMania. He cost him Money in the Bank, which he really didn't. But these guys, they've been together for the past 4 months. Past four shows: WrestleMania, Payback, Extreme Rules, and Money in the Bank. So quite frankly, this is, and then last week on Raw. So quite frankly, this has to be the end all be all between this feud. I do think they can split up since they're putting emphasis on it has to end so we can go on. So this kind of has it kind of can be a gimmick match. I expect it to be a gimmick match. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't, but it has to come to an end because that's what they're hammering down.
Yeah. Do you want it to be the end?
No, because
you want them to stay on the same show.
I wouldn't mind it, but we need I always say okay, Jericho and Benoit, they didn't have nothing to do. Put them back together because you can always do that, but. But they can put them on, separate them because they're hammering that fact down. But I wouldn't be mad if they stay together.
Eric, you believe they will be split up.
I
Do you
believe
want
they'll
them
be
to be
split.
split?
I want them to be split.
You do want them to be split.
Yeah, because anytime whether it's it'd be cool. It's the middle of the year. The Royal Rumble. Let's assume that's going to be a match where you're going to get both shows mixed. Let them do the same thing they did this year. They see each other and it's automatically needs to grill.
Yeah.
Blows face. Like
Yeah.
just let them get it in.
Yeah,
Let them get it in. Then it's got to be something. When they cross paths, you get that oozing feeling like these guys really do hate each other. But you don't need it every week. You don't need it every week.
It's a career-long blood feud. Unlike we can see it as many times as possible. The match will still be awesome. It's not like we saw Ziggler and Owens 4 weeks straight for nothing because of nothing.
Yeah. So they should fight forever, just not every week.
Yes.
I could get behind that. Women's division. Finally, Sasha Banks is back on Raw. Finally, she's back in the ring.
Were you pissed to see her back?
Yeah, I was so pissed that she came back.
Is Sasha being on Raw the only way you get 2-segment women's matches?
I guess so, because in my eyes, she is the Divas / Women's Revolution.
Yeah, there were 3 great wrestlers in Dana Brooke in this match.
You hate Dana.
She is so bad.
I like her. I just think she's miscast right now.
She is, but she's not good. She's rushed. They rushed her up for no reason. Well, they had her up for a reason, but
Yeah.
plans changed.
It blew up.
Yeah.
But Sasha Banks, the boss, she comes back, comes after Charlotte twice. Now she's in a tag match with Paige. They're recycling the same story from after the Royal Rumble. Don't you think after keeping her off TV for basically 12 weeks, they should be building her up more than they have? Not just you come in at the end of 2 matches and then you have a tag match. One, if Sasha Banks is the boss, why is she tagging with anybody? She doesn't need a tag team partner. She doesn't want a tag team partner. She's her own thing. She thinks she's better than everybody.
And she's willingly tagging with people.
Yeah, to me that doesn't make much sense. She hasn't gotten a chance to talk, which is a big part of her
Doesn't make any
character.
sense.
You can't find 1 minute on a 3-hour show to talk?
30 seconds.
30
Give me
seconds.
half of that.
10 seconds.
Yeah, even after the match.
One word.
Yeah, even the
Just
match.
saying.
Just say
Yeah,
boss and go.
The only time she got to talk was, which she does in every match, is who's the baddest, huh? That's what she said. That's the only time she's gotten to talk on the last 3 shows. NXT, she got to build her character up. She got to show you why she was the boss. She came up with the character. She fought her way up to a title shot. She eventually overcame Charlotte, won the title. Had a pretty epic women's championship reign. Then she came up to the main roster. Eric, is there anything you could think of that they've had her do, character-wise, that shows her as the boss on the main roster?
You looking at something, Eric?
I mean,
Thinking.
other than just that she's good and that people like her, have they shown her in that light at all?
Well, there was the one. No.
No.
No?
There wasn't that.
So we have not seen her be the boss.
No.
They say our whole audience doesn't watch NXT, so the NXT product wouldn't work on Raw. But then they bring these NXT people up and treat them like everybody already knows who they are. So either everybody watches NXT or a big portion of your audience doesn't. But
Until the crowd starts calling her Ratchet, I don't believe they watch NXT.
Yeah, I need her stamp.
Oh, yeah,
She just had
we
the
haven't
stamp.
seen that in a while either.
By the way, Ron, I asked Eric last time. I'm going to ask you this time. Go in that closet and grab my chest protector because I got to climb the top rope and drop the lowdown on the dirt sheet. Did you guys happen to hear that the bank statement was banned?
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay.
Didn't read it.
Oh, good. Okay. So the headline was...
Did you start this rumor?
Oh, I wouldn't do that. Okay, so the headline is saying, we haven't seen the bank statement on TV in 2 months, and WWE doesn't want her affiliated with the name Chris Benoit. The reason the bank statement hasn't been seen is per her not being on TV for 12 weeks. Wait,
Yes.
12 weeks?
12 weeks. You haven't seen her on TV for 12 weeks.
Exactly. The bank statement is not banned. She did it on SmackDown. She did it on Raw. And that's the lowdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Also, it's not the same move Benoit did.
Exactly. First, she was Daniel Bryan because she gets hurt all the time.
Uh-huh.
When she was accidentally hurt by a referee and had a minor injury, which kept her off TV, which she said she wasn't even hurt.
Yeah.
WWE just keep her on TV. It makes no sense. They do it all the time. Makes no sense. And by the way, I thought I wasn't watching Raw because now I'm getting 2 women's storylines.
Not 1, but 2.
Is this the women's division? I'm getting 2 storylines.
I guess it is. Do we think Natty's heel turn is going to pay off in some way, shape, or form, or do we think she'll just get wasted like she did for the previous 2 or 3
I will
years?
bet $1 she gets wasted.
I don't think so, because Becky's pretty over now and has a lot of credibility to her. So I wouldn't be shocked to see if Natty actually pulled out a victory using heel tactics in this situation. And before we move on, I got a question from the babyface Ronald Lloyd. He wants to know how.
What's the relation?
There is relation. There is relation. He says, how would you grade the first year of the Women's Revolution? Should Sasha Banks versus Charlotte match happen at Battleground, or should they save it for SummerSlam?
Okay, first part, I give it a D. I don't give it an F because...
No, Ron, real quick, sorry to interject. Remember, you're a little older
Slightly.
than us, and maybe some of our viewers.
Uh-huh.
Is it D, passing or failing?
A D is a failing grade.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
So I think
Kind of
they
important.
have...
He's old.
Yeah, he's older.
I think that they have failed.
We got a D in our age. We like, yes! Yes! Yes!
We're going out this weekend. I got D.
Got that credit!
I give it a D. I don't give it an F because Charlotte has grown by leaps and bounds in the last 6 months. She has kept the division afloat with Sasha not being there. I think a lot of the women's matches have been really good. I think Natty and Charlotte had some really good matches. The triple threat match at WrestleMania was great. But they built up this huge, Divas Revolution, Women's Revolution. Oh, and also they debuted the new Women's Championship, got rid of the Divas title. Those are the 3 pluses. But they have not really advanced the women as much as they made it out that they would. So I think as a whole, the whole year gone by, I don't think that it has lived up to what they built it to be. Eric? Oh, and I do think Sasha and Charlotte should have a match at Battleground for the title. Shouldn't go 2 straight pay-per-views without it being defended.
Well, as far as my grade system goes, spoiler alert. I gave him the highest grade. I'm going to give it a C+. Reason being is, for several reasons, I can't think of any time in the last 5-10 years where the women's wrestling mattered this much. Whether they're not doing it to the full extent that we expect or would like, it's never mattered this much.
It's a good point.
You get Charlotte overall as a character, great eye. I mean, when she got here to the main roster, she wasn't who she was in NXT. She advanced, but she's only gotten better every week since. She's phenomenal as a heel. She retired the atrocious Divas title and brought us this beautiful women's championship.
Gorgeous.
We have Sasha Banks, who we loved in NXT, and
I don't know.
We're getting her now. We're getting her now.
You're right.
Once every 9 weeks, we do get a secondary, women's
9 years
women's segment. But at the same time, in the last 5 years, until this Divas Revolution started, they've never had as much of a matter or an effect or a segment. You figure, hey, whether it's been something as simple as a contract signing, they've had that at the main hour, like the 11 o'clock hour of Raw. So I give it a C+, because they've done more with women's wrestling than they've done in a long time. Aside from that, I do believe Sasha Banks should win the title. I'm sorry, not win the title. She should have her match for the Women's Championship at Battleground. Doesn't make sense to hold off to SummerSlam.
Okay, you guys are completely generous to me, because I'm going to give it an F minus at that.
The dreaded F minus.
This was good for 1 month, and that was the month they came up until SummerSlam, because
you liked it just because it was like a
this
gang thing.
This made no sense. How many times did Sasha Banks beat Nikki Bella and got no title shots? They got Sasha go do the Unity crap. Makes no sense. They keep her on TV for months. Paige is healed 1 week because she said your baby brother didn't have any fight in him, and then she's healed the next, and then she's healed. Then she's babyface the next month, and Charlotte's healed for no reason. Becky Lynch and Charlotte have been the gems. Well, Becky the gem more than her because we expect this from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Becky was supposed to be the forgotten one. You don't see Naomi after Team Bad was done. You don't see her on TV.
What about Tamina?
What about her? They bring up Team Bad and Blonde.
You mean the honorary APA member?
Yeah.
Tamina?
At WrestleMania, they do this Team Bad and Blonde. You see Lana, and then they bring Emma up, which was great until she got hurt. Then they bring Dana, and she's now Charlotte's protege,
Lackey.
flunky, Damian Wayne, whatever you want to call her. Still don't know why technically don't really know why she's with her, other than the fact that she's a so-called protege. It hasn't been good. And you keep Sasha off of TV 3 times, and you have to do the same entrance 3 times twice in 1 week. Makes no sense. I think I've been saying for months that since Sasha's undefeated on the WWE roster, that she's going to get a match at Battleground. The fact that Paige is still involved in the situation, I think it'll be a triple threat. Or with storyline development, which they've been doing, they can infuse Natty and Becky into this, make it a fatal 4-way. But I do think Sasha does get a title match at Battleground. I do think it'll be a multi-person match. She won't take the pinfall. She'll come real close, but won't win. And I think she'll get her shining moment at SummerSlam. I don't care when it happens because we're going to be there, so I don't care.
Yeah, we deserve it.
Yes.
We saw her drop the NXT Women's title at TakeOver Brooklyn. We need to see her win a title at one of these 2 shows. Tag teams. What did you guys
saying? Because you guys are going up.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the New Day's rendition of the Wyatt family?
Excellent.
Great.
As good as DX doing the Nation?
No.
Don't.
That's GOAT. That's the GOAT.
I just wanted to bring it up. That's one of my favorite things of all time.
Big Kofi had the butt.
The butt pads and the jumpsuit looking like Braun.
Biggie was barefoot.
Gray beard, straw hat, overalls. Woods dressed as Luke Harper, as you mentioned earlier.
Did they? Yeah.
The,
Yeah,
the
that was
big
cool.
baggy jeans. I loved that they kept talking about how they were going to just keep roasting the Wyatt family, and Woods wanted no parts of it.
Yeah, he's still in awe with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Woods?
It's even better that time.
Was it?
Yeah. The
It
Wyatts...
didn't scare me this time.
Well, you were looking...
Well, you were
ready
paying
for it
attention
that
to the
time.
show. No.
The Wyatts come out. They basically say, you tell people what they want to hear, whereas we tell people what they need to hear. I always appreciate when a heel, 1, has a good point, and 2, when they truly believe in their side of the story. Like in his mind, he's not wrong. In his mind, he's not evil. In his mind, he's not a bad guy. In his mind, he thinks he's looking out for the rest of the world, telling us the dangers that are out there. This world isn't what people want you to think it is. There's more to it, and I'm here to tell you what that is. And I like that he called out Woods for being not quite Xavier Woods these last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Do you think Xavier Woods goes over to the dark side? What do we think?
As long as she's not wearing a garbage man outfit.
I don't see him. I don't see him leaving. I don't see him going to that. I mean, that would be an interesting twist. I mean, as long as they reach that record that me and Ayla have been clamoring on in the last couple of weeks. Excuse me. I could see if this leads into hopefully if the Wyatt family wins the tag titles. I hope they don't do it again in the Freebirds-esque fashion where all 3 members can rock the title.
They should have a set tag team.
If they do it, keep it long enough to Luke Harper come back and he can just defend the belts in a handicap match. Because he's the best member of the whole damn group.
That's right. I don't want to see this match without Luke Harper, and that leads me to a question from Donovan the Lowdown Lord, no relation.
No relation at all.
He says, how do you guys feel about the Wyatts without Luke Harper? I think it weakens them a little bit because he's a core member. Well, Lowdown Lord, no relation. My opinion, he is the best member. The rest are not good in the ring. Bray Wyatt, I like him as a character, but he's not on the level of Luke Harper or at all. And like Harper and Rowan, they should have been tag champions a long time ago.
They were great tag team.
Their matches with the Usos were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So Luke Harper is the best one. So I think it weakens them tremendously in the ring.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he had a great, short singles run when he had the IC title and aligned himself with the Authority.
That
but
hot 1 month run.
it was hot, but I mean, he was a threat. When anyone got in the ring with him, you thought they had no chance of winning at that point.
Yeah, he was a monster. I think that So I'm the biggest Bray Wyatt mark on the show.
Easily.
Love Bray Wyatt. I do think, though, as much as I'll always be invested in the Wyatts as long as Bray is there, they're not the same without Luke Harper. It's his right-hand man. He's the biggest physical threat. As Aaron mentioned before, his mic skills are underrated. He's capable of more. It's just a shame he's not there. So they're obviously going to be a much more formidable faction with Luke Harper in the picture. And I think Luke Harper and Rowan were a great tag team. And it's a shame that they didn't get a run with the titles. Enzo and Cass with a squash match, and apparently about to start a feud with the Social Outcasts, minus Adam Rose.
Lose a match for the tag titles, have a squash match 2 Raws later. It makes no sense to me, but whatever.
How'd you feel about them openly starting a wave?
That was decent. It was different.
Only Enzo.
Only Enzo, you're right. I wish that the wave had gotten a little better. It didn't look like everybody was completely on board with it. I don't know if it was just because of the way the lighting was, but it just didn't seem like he got quite the reaction we would have expected.
Yeah, it was in Florida, too.
But that crowd was pretty dead all night.
Yeah, I thought so,
For a Florida crowd, that's NXT country.
Mm-hmm. Intercontinental title, we have The Miz with Maurice making their return.
Awesome. This is so good. Awesome.
Corporate Kane trying to get in with Stephanie once again. He brings up the clause article.
I love that.
I love that, but I've been complaining about that for the last 5.5 years. That clause hasn't mattered since the 90s. Kane, thanks for bringing up that clause. Nobody's talked about that since 1999. Maybe they talked about it in 2000.
Since the turn of the century, nobody's talked about it.
Well, Barrett, a couple years ago.
Okay.
Barrett talked about having to defend the title?
They had him drop the title because he got hurt.
Yeah, but that's different. Like, he got hurt. He couldn't, he was hurt for months.
This was just The Miz has just avoided defending it for 30 days.
Well, he was filming that summer blockbuster, Marine 5.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so stupid talking about these movies like they matter.
You didn't see Santa's Little Helper, Eric?
No.
Even though Paige was in it?
I'm not Joey. What the hell?
I apologize.
I don't accept.
Fair enough. Kane books the Demon Kane in a match with The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, The Miz wasn't going to win that one. And then Maurice...
To quote... ALO, Aaron Lloyd. I hope this isn't a thing.
I hope not.
I hope not either.
I hope not, and I don't think it will be.
Well,
Maurice
Kane technically won.
True, but Maurice faked the injury. The Miz comes out, helps her to the bag. Very Superpowers, Hogan, Elizabeth style. And The Miz actually believed that she was hurt. And then she says, acting. And he says, you're a brilliant actor. You're beautiful. I love you so much.
So good.
Yeah, I know there's some people we know that hate it. Probably one sitting right between us right now.
Yeah, and a good friend of the show.
And you know what? I like Kane a decent bit. Like, he's had a great career. This is 2 people I don't want to see competing for the Intercontinental title. I'd had no problem with it if Kane would have won. I'd rather him win. But if I got to see this match again...
I don't want to see it again.
Well, I was excited because I was like, look, they're in Florida. I know Neville's supposed to be coming back. He's advertised for a lot of events. Maybe it's Neville. He'll actually get he'll actually have a title and be relevant. And I was like, I heard Hideo Itami's supposed to be coming back. Maybe he got called up. And I was like, Kane.
You know what really got me? And this is where I felt like the biggest sucker in the world. When they played it back again with like the little advertisement for the match, I'm looking at the figure and I'm looking at the hair. At first glance, I'm like, man, it looks like Alex Riley from like 2011. Then I'm like looking at it again. I'm like, it's Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder's getting a rematch. So I'm watching it with my son Troy, and Troy's like, "Oh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?" I was like, "Watch, it's gonna be Zack Ryder."
No, because it was interesting because all these guys, like, I was going through the mess, like, okay, Owens and Zayn book for something, Cruz and Cesaro book for something. Who could it be? But we can't.
Well, I wasn't talking about Apollo Crews. I was saying your son Cruz.
Cruz. C-R-U-Z.
But we have to acknowledge Maurice's Academy Award winning Anderson Varejao Vladi Divac performance on the apron.
It was a great flop.
It was great.
I didn't know what happened at first.
It was so bad.
It was so weird.
It was
and
so
out
bad.
of place. I was like, what is happening? And then I thought, like, she's wearing those high heels. Like, did she accidentally roll her ankle?
It was so bad.
I had no clue what happened. So she did fool me, but it looked so ridiculous.
It was so bad.
It wasn't like anybody was even near her.
It was so bad.
I don't know if somebody was supposed to hit the ropes and she was supposed to fall off, but U.S. title, Titus Young gets a count-out victory.
Cousin Titus?
Over Rusev, yeah, Cousin Titus. So clearly that's going to continue to be a thing.
Well, it's good Lana got her accent fully back.
Yeah, it still comes and goes. It's not always there.
Looking good!
Yeah, she always is.
Oh no,
Wait.
go on.
So were you going to say something about that? Because I was going to move on.
I thought you were going to move on.
Oh, okay. Apollo Crews and Cesaro against Sheamus and Del Rio. Good continuity with Sheamus and Del Rio still hating each other.
Great, yep.
And I liked that Del Rio ultimately turned on him.
That was so good.
That was good because I didn't see it coming. I did enjoy that.
Do you think that might have been a tease and a face turn for Alberto Del Rio?
The fans were cheering.
They were. CCC.
CCC.
What do you think, Eric? You're the biggest Del Rio mark out
would
there.
like
They're related
Theo.
by marriage.
Theo. No, that's my uncle. Not by
Well,
marriage. With
well-
blood.
By the way, we got another question from the Lowdown Lord No Relation. He's asked, who needs more work, Apollo Crews or Baron Corbin?
Apollo Crews. Because Baron Corbin knows who and what he is, and the crowd knows who and what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Apollo Crews is a guy who's a really good athlete. He's fun to watch in the ring, and he smiles a lot. There's nothing else besides that. I like him. I think he's got a ton of potential, but they haven't given him
when he was in
anything.
NXT, it was, I'm here to become NXT champion.
Never did.
And Baron Corbin in NXT, it was to bring the end of days, to just beat people up.
The lone
Or the
wolf.
main roster. And he's not really bringing the end of days to anyone but Ziggler. He's just killing, like
He picked
And
one
Zack
guy.
Ryder.
One guy to keep bringing the end of days to. But so you think clearly Apollo as well.
yeah, Apollo.
How about you?
Clearly Apollo, because, as you like to say, Road Dogg says, characters matter, and Baron Corbin has a character. He's a lone wolf.
Characters matter except when they don't.
Exactly. And Baron Corbin's a lone wolf, and Apollo Crews is, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll give
Two
you,
guys, they should bring the hardcore title division back
But-
for him. But who would
I'll
I
give you
know?
this. Him and Cesaro were a nice tag team.
No, they were good. It was a good match.
There was another terrible crowd for that match.
Yeah.
How you get Cesaro out there and he didn't even have a section?
But that was a nice tag team. So maybe you
think
might
we
see
it
that
going
more.
forward?
I like that combination.
Well, Cesaro shined in a tag team once before.
Yeah, with Tyson Kidd.
So maybe,
R.I.P.
yeah. Unfortunately, before we move on from WWE, would you rather see the Ric Flair Big Gold World Heavyweight Championship come back, or would you rather see them new era, first time SmackDown as a live show? Do you want to see them introduce a new title for that show? Which would be your preference, new belt or go back to the?
Can I go with option C?
Yeah.
I want Dean Ambrose to be on both shows. I want whoever the champion is to be on both shows. I want when Dean drops the title, if it's post-draft, I want him to then be able to sign a contract wherever he wants and he can land on the show.
Well,
And maybe in a year, then bring an old title back. But I think for right now, to justify it, obviously we all know when there was a WWE Championship and a World Heavyweight Championship was secondary. But if you're going to have a WWE Championship and a Women's Championship that look identical, then you're throwing a world title. That one's just going to be below. My opinion.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What do I know?
well, quite frankly, it's hard. Because I think they can get lazy and bring that back, but I would like to see a new belt because that belt has gotten so diminished over the years. It like people like the likes
Jack Swagger.
like Jack Swagger was the world champion, and older Kane. Like it doesn't do anything. But they can bring back the all of it. It'll be interesting. They could actually bring some importance to that quickly during the brand split. But I wouldn't mind seeing a new title. We know we're getting a new title because they all night they hammered down that was called the WWE Championship. The first time since 2013 that wasn't known as the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
So there is going to be two titles.
Terrible
What?
if they just take the stripe at the bottom of the WWE logo and turn it blue.
I thought about
God.
that. I make that background blue. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind seeing a new title. But I think they can rejuvenate that by just putting it on somebody important and having amazing matches.
Yeah, I've been clamoring since they announced this that I want one world champion that travels to both shows. If they're going to do two, I'd rather see a new belt. But I mean, I'm with you. I'd rather see the belt travel. I think it makes it more important.
And here's the thing: if they do that, do we continue as this is the first person to hold this belt since John Cena, or I'm sorry, Brock Lesnar for 24 hours? Like, is that how is it going to go, or is this a new belt?
Well, they always recognize it as a world champion, so they tend to combine them, whether world heavyweight title or not. They tend to combine them.
Yeah. So that's it for WWE. NXT. Ty Dillinger loses again. So they're really hyping up this losing streak.
I love how Corey Graves was so mad he lost.
He's a 5.
He's a 5 now. He's a 5. He's a 5 like you, Tom.
Do we think that this is now an ongoing story with Ty Dillinger, where now he ultimately will become a little bit bigger in NXT?
Well, I think he's been working heel at live events lately.
Really?
I think so. But he's so over there that they're not really going to boo him. I wouldn't be shocked if he came up.
I wouldn't either. He's been there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The character's good. People like it.
And he's a good hand.
And he can work, yeah. So I wouldn't mind seeing him come up. Aries and
So
No
good.
Way Jose
So good.
get involved. Austin Aries says, "Hey, Jose, you taught me that this is all about having fun." He dances with him for a good, 3-4 minutes?
So
you
good.
two got similar dance moves, by the way.
Yeah, we do. He learned
so
them from me.
Good.
That's why
you
there's
guys still
only
got
one
beef?
perfect 20, yeah.
Well, since Dillinger's a 5 now, Eric can be downgraded to a 10, and
then I will be the
you'll
one and
reclaim
only
your
perfect
rightful place
20.
as the 20.
I still think Austin Aries needs to apologize to me, but if we can move forward with that, I will give him credit. He has not called himself a perfect 20 since that night.
Yeah, so maybe he forgot.
Maybe you didn't get the apology.
Or maybe he was afraid because he knew I was coming after him.
Yeah, he saw you growing a beard in the back of your hair, your Hogan hair.
Yeah, Austin Aries, you were smart to never say that again. I know you didn't want me coming after you. You didn't want me coming back to Orlando.
You do
You
know
say
where
it
the
again, though,
performance
I
center is.
will. I do. And I will, no hesitation showing back up.
Yeah, he doesn't want into the thinking man.
He doesn't. Austin Aries coaxes No Way Jose onto the table just to turn on him, drops
So
him,
good.
beats him down. So I guess this will be a match. I don't know if they announced it, but
No, not
eventually
yet.
it will be. We got some follow-up on Nakamura and Finn Balor. Somehow, Buddy Murphy gets himself involved and gets himself in the main event against Nakamura. Absolutely ridiculous.
He's so bad.
He is terrible.
Better than Blake, but so bad.
But not much.
Yeah.
I don't know who's who.
No, I didn't either until this week, I don't think. And I don't think I knew his name was Buddy either.
Yeah.
That's how little I cared about those two. Speaking of them, though, I liked that Alexa interrupted Carmella's
That was good.
interview, saying how she wants to be the face of NXT's women's division. She wants to be the champion. And Alexa comes out, says, "Oh, isn't that cute? Your boys are gone." Whatever it was, she basically said, "I left my boys
I carried them.
because I was the star. I carried them. Your boys left you because you were just an accessory."
She's good.
So to me, that's just like, boom, great feud right off the bat.
Already.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that. She even was able to lay claim that she was not the one that got pinned in that triple threat match with Nia Jax, right?
Yep.
Bayley made her return, gets a win over Deonna Purrazzo, as pretty much everybody does when they face Deonna Purrazzo. The Jersey girl,
She's good.
but not the Jersey girl,
Not my Jersey girl.
who was also on the show.
It's embarrassing that she has a gimmick Apollo Crews does.
That's not really a good gimmick. She's just being her.
No, but
Yeah,
she's
it's just like, oh, I'm from
But she,
Jersey.
yeah, no,
that's
but
my thing.
that's the gimmick. She goes with the whole thing. She's a Jersey girl. Her entrance has a new jersey, or is a hat? It's a new jersey. The back of the
It's Jersey zip code, I think.
yeah,
area
yeah.
code.
or a jacket. That's her gimmick. She's a Jersey girl.
Yeah, she got squashed by Nia Jax.
She also wrestles in Jays.
Yeah,
She does. Has for a while. I saw her with, Aaliyah now. Her name was Noof when I was at the performance there. She was wrestling in Jordan's that day as well. So it's been her thing for a while. I
She's
knew
still
I knew
following
you'd
you?
appreciate
Yep,
that.
still follows me on Instagram. She's waiting for the plug.
Yeah.
Wait, till we hook up, I ain't hooking you up.
We'd love to get her on the show.
Yeah, why not?
She has to get on. I told her I need something first.
Nakamura squashed Buddy Murphy, as we all saw him coming.
Buddy Murphy. It's so bad.
And we were informed that Finn and Nakamura is in 3 weeks. Is that a TV taping?
Taping.
It's already
It's
happened,
done.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
It did already happen?
No spoiler. Control yourself
Yeah, I don't
for
wanna
2
know.
seconds, please.
I'm assuming you do know who won,
Of course
though?
he knows.
I know everything for the next 3 weeks.
All right. I don't want that spoiled.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
At least
say
not
anything.
yet.
Not
Okay.
for the show. Do a post-show.
That was really anything from NXT you wanted to...
No, we hit it on. Hit everything.
Nothing else important, I guess not. It's always good to get a Regal sighting.
Mm-hmm.
So do we have any questions left?
Yeah, we got a question from the disciple of Apocalypse, Joe Lafferty.
Okay.
He says, the crowds always matter, and they're always electric. So, what are some of your favorite and non-favorite crowd chants?
My least favorite, I have a tie. If you
A
don't
favorite
mind me.
or...
A tie for my least favorite.
Okay.
There aren't many that I like.
Really?
Yeah. I hate what,
Okay, I knew that.
and I hate you can't wrestle.
Okay.
To me, that's just like blatantly disrespecting someone who's going out there putting their body on the line to try to entertain you. Maybe they're not your cup of tea, but you don't need to just blatantly disrespect a man or woman going out there putting it on the line for your enjoyment. The one I like the most, my favorite one I think I've ever heard was the Zayn Nakamura Fight Forever. I think that was my favorite chant.
What was that originally? At
Dallas.
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. Who was it that made a comment about how awesome that was? It was someone on a podcast saying, "I was like, geez, I just want to hear that sometime."
It might have been you.
No,
It wasn't you?
not our podcast. It was someone else's podcast.
I just love the idea that you were putting yourself out, like unwittingly putting yourself out there. Some genius on this show.
I
thought it was about me for a second.
agree. I do agree that you can't wrestle. It is pretty bad. I do think it's overused. I think one of the two ones that I'm a big fan of, obviously just being from the Philadelphia area. Anytime you see someone extreme, or we get to see someone from that like late 90s like to 01 era that was there in ECW, if you get to see them in a match, it's always fun to chant ECW.
That is great.
I figure, we got to see Rhino at an NXT show, and we got to chant ECW for him. We got to see that once in a while.
Joey Styles too.
For Joey Styles. We got to see it for Bubba Ray Dudley when he returned at the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Another one, which I think is just classic. If you're getting great in-ring work, this is awesome. This is awesome. I think is great.
I do like that one. There's just sometimes I think the crowd is too quick to give it out.
it's way overused in my opinion.
But that doesn't take away from the
I
fact that it is a great chant.
I think the in-ring work, to an extent, has just gotten better overall. But like I said, almost when we did our Throwback Madness, I mean, I think there's stuff from like 2011 to early 2013 that like I only cared about a few small segments, and I watch some of that stuff now, and I'm like, I really didn't appreciate some of this.
Yeah. How about you?
All right, well, I agree with the ones that you don't like. You can't wrestle and the what chant. Those are kind of two that really just bother me. Some of my favorites are Kurt Angle, "You Suck" when he come out of that. That was always awesome. That was always awesome. And anything NXT, because like even when Dillinger comes out and they sing Nakamura's song, even Enzo and Cass, "How You Doing?" But my favorite from NXT is anything Bailey. We want some Bailey. Bailey, we be my girl.
Yeah.
I always like the, we're such and such is gonna kill you.
Yeah, that too.
That one's good.
Yeah, that one's good too. But even the Bailey one, like just in a normal day, I just find myself saying it because it's so creative.
My other least favorite one is Sasha's Ratchet. Because I feel like it was like a little bit racist. But
funny thing is, she didn't know what that meant.
Well, you know what another good chant is? Racist assholes.
Who coined that one?
Yeah.
That was when the Philadelphia crowd was booing the New Day, while we were among the first to be cheering them.
They were horrible back then.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
still good in-ring work.
The thing with Sasha was she didn't know what ratchet meant, and the only person, I think, the only two people that took offense to that is you and Makazi.
The Ric Flair woo is great.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a chop, knife edge chop.
Yeah, anybody.
Yeah, I enjoy that too.
All right, we got another question from Tyrell Roadblock Miles.
Okay.
his first question was about Sasha when we think they're going to pull the trigger on him. We answered that earlier. So Tyrell, if you don't mind, you could refer back to that. And his second part of the question was, who do you think was a greater heel? Brock in 2003, Jericho in 2008, Triple H in 2000, JBL in 2004, or Edge in 2006?
I'm going to say Edge in 2006. I think Edge that was when the whole rated R superstar.
Yeah, that's when it started. Yeah,
because one, a lot of that came from real life stuff, and I think he was someone that I legitimately liked when he first started out, but I always thought he was going to be a guy who was fun to watch in the ring and was never anything more than that. And he grew into like this silly, funny guy with Christian, and then just a heel that you couldn't help but hate or love to hate. So I'm going to say Edge 2006, just because it was just so much growth from that guy. And he was one of the first guys, I think, that knowing what wrestling is really about, like as a smart fan, got to watch the guy grow for all that time. Because a lot of guys I watched in the early 90s, I was still just a mark, like just buying into what they were selling. I knew it was happening. I'm like watching this guy get better and better and grow. So I would definitely say Edge 2006.
My answer for this, it was almost a tie for a while. I didn't get to watch Jericho in 2008. I've heard stellar reviews of his heel work. I've heard you say he carried the company on his back at that time. I want to say that, but also I want to pay homage to my boy Alo. I'm going to go with Triple H from 2000. Because that's when he really became the cerebral assassin. You know, he was just really had a killer instinct. There were so many times you wanted him to lose, and he didn't. Like, you just wanted him to drop the title, and there were certain people that just couldn't beat him. And not just that, it's not even one of the options, Tyrell, but I think he also, fast forward 2 years later, he gave another tremendous heel run.
Yeah.
He turned on Shawn Michaels, but it's neither here nor there.
I'm hoping somebody picks that for Throwback Madness in August. All right, well, shockingly, my answer is not Triple H in 2000.
Don't say JBL.
In a huge upset.
JBL was up there. Because, it was hard for me to rank these, because JBL was good. Because his stuff with Eddie Guerrero.
Just happy you didn't say
good. It was a little controversial, because of with the thing with Vicky and stuff like that. But Triple H was great. I'm glad Eric picked him. It's hard because with Jericho and Edge, I'll go with Edge. Like Jericho, you like when heels have a point, and you didn't watch back then. But in 2008, Jericho had a point, because when Jericho started turning heel, this was after Shawn Michaels retired Flair, and Michaels had a match with Batista, and Michaels was acting like he was hurt, but he wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
And then Jericho was saying, he would have highlight reel shows saying, "Are you hurt? Are you hurt?" And Shawn Michaels would say he's hurt. He wasn't hurt. And Jericho turned heel on him, but Jericho's point was he wasn't hurt. So Jericho was basically, he had a point, and he was basically in that kind of situation, the babyface in that situation.
Yeah.
And then his heel run, I think he hit his wife or something like that.
Yeah.
It was great heel work, and
he was talking about that on his podcast
not
too long ago. That went like a full year, right?
It was most of the year. It went from, I believe, April to and ended October. So, but I'll go with Edge as number one, because he was literally the ultimate opportunist. From that New Year's Revolution, the first pay-per-view of the year, win a title.
The Chamber.
Yeah, after he cashed in after the Chamber. He did drop it 2 weeks later to Cena.
Shock.
Yeah,
was that the one where he snuck into the Chamber?
No, that wasn't. He cashed in after that match.
Okay.
And then later that year, he would win the title in one of the best triple threat matches you ever see against Cena and Rob Van Dam on an episode of Raw. And then he would constantly...
But he won that because Rob Van Dam got
Yeah. And he had an awesome match with Mick. He was great with Foley at WrestleMania 22. Great with Cena at Unforgiven. He had a really great run. Even Team Rated RKO against DX was great.
Our buddy Phil said that Edge beating John Cena made him cry. Because he was a big John Cena mark at the time. So that's one of the reasons. I cannot even
imagine seeing Phil cry. That would just disgust me.
Yeah, he's going to love that I said that. But yeah, so that one more check mark for Edge being the great heel, if he can make a kid cry. So Were there any more questions you had?
You have a question.
I have one from Ronald Deli Lloyd. He asks, basically, in a classic game, we're not going to use the word on this show, but the ECW One Night Stand, the Match Made in Heaven, or the You're Fired between Sasha Banks, Lana, and Stephanie McMahon. So, who would you have the ECW One Night Stand with? Who would you have the Match Made in Heaven with, which I guess would be a longer lasting thing?
A marriage.
And then who would be fired?
Going first?
No, I'm gonna save the best for last.
Okay. Well, my ECW One Night Stand will be Lana.
Okay.
Match Made in Heaven will be Sasha because she seems very low maintenance, calm. She likes Flash. She likes Arrow. She likes Power Rangers. My kind of girl. And you're fired will be Stephanie because she'll just demasculate me. As everybody else.
I'm not going to deviate too much. ECW One Night Stand, Lana. Match Made in Heaven. Obviously, anybody who knows me would be disappointed if I didn't pick Sasha Banks. And Stephanie McMahon, I appreciate you, but I will fire your ass.
All right. Like I said, save the best for last. I'm going to catch heat for this, but going with the One Night Stand, Lana, I'm going to see how flexible you are, see if everything The Rock said about you are true. For Match Made in Heaven, if I got to keep you around, I'm going to go with Stephanie because obviously it seems she's got 3 kids. She probably likes to go. She's got those, according to Chris Jericho, she's got those big old fun bags. I'm saying I'll keep for that, and I'm sorry, guys, but Sasha's fired. No offense.
Wow.
But
I don't want to end the show.
I need to catch some heat.
Well, she can go to Lucha Underground, which could be awesome.
So we got no more questions. We talked about. I really don't want to end on that note. That was really disappointing. But
I would plug Throwback Madness fully loaded 98, but that's depressing too.
It's just as bad of a note. Well, yes, fully loaded 98 Throwback Madness will be delivered to you.
You're excited for it.
The week of.
It's a one match show.
Yeah, the week of Battleground.
I'm going to destroy that show.
If the first half of our show was less enjoyable than usual, we apologize. It was only because we had done that whole
This show is awesome.
Already.
The fans are going to love it. Make sure you give us those thumbs up.
Those 5-star Frog Splash reviews.
You can listen to us on iTunes. You can
tell a friend to tell a friend.
Exactly.
About Mad Madness.
You can listen to us on Podbean. You can watch us on YouTube or our Facebook page. And soon, I believe, we're going to be available on Stitcher, which hopefully will make it available to even more people. So, once again, for Ek2 Fly, Eric Trembicki, for ALO, Aaron Lloyd, I am the Perfect 20, Ron Pashery, and we will see you next week.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.